Hi everyone. Today we are doing inverse functions. So this is year 10 IGCSE, year 10 or year 11 IGCSE chapter. And the key area that we are going to focus on is inverse functions, which is a part of the chapter more equations, formulas and functions. Before I move ahead, let's start and do with this starter that is there. You can pause the video, try and then go ahead. I have f of x given to me as 2x plus 5 and I need to find f, and f of x value is given as 23. You need to find what is x. So what do you do in this case? So the thing that I do in this case, that f of x is 23. So I will equate 23 with 2x plus 5. Now I need to find the value of x. That means I need to make x my subject. If I need to make x my subject, what I can do is I can minus 5 from both the sides. So here I will be left with 17 will be equal to 2x. Okay, now I will equate x 23 minus 5. 23 minus 5, that is 18. 18 is equal to 2x. Now what I'll do, I will divide both the sides by 2. So it will be 18 by 2 is x. So my x is going to be 9. So the answer is option B. This is the answer to your starter. Now, everything about inverse functions. How will you find inverse functions? How will you reverse the map? So by the end of this lesson, you will be able to understand what is inverse functions, analyze and solve inverse functions using a flow chart. Okay, and you will also be able to do the reversing of map. So here is some rule that is related to inverse function. This you should know. The first thing that you have to do is you have to write the value, write out the function as y is equal to something. Okay, when I write the function as y is equal to something, then I will do my step 2. My steps 2 says that you have to swap the x and the y. Okay, before I go ahead with this, I want to tell you that if my f of x is the function and I want to find the inverse of it, so the inverse of it would be written as f minus 1 of x. Okay, the second thing that I want to tell you is if f of x is x plus 5, so the inverse of it would be x and 5 would remain as it is. Inverse of it would be x minus 5. Because opposite of addition is subtraction. So if my g of x is 2x, so inverse of it, that is g minus 1 you write over here, x will be opposite of multiply is divide. I will write x as it is and I will divide by 2. There is a method to do this. 4 steps you have to follow. Write out the function y is equal to. Swap the x and y. Make y the subject. And instead of y, you will write, instead of y, that is f of x. You're going to write f minus 1. F minus 1 of x. So 4 steps. Y, write the function, that is write f of x. Swap x and y. Make y the subject. And instead of y, write f of minus 1. Let's go ahead with the first sum. Okay, I'm putting the steps over here so that it becomes easier for you. Find the inverse of fx is equal to 3x minus 4. Make the function as y. So I will write y is equal to 3x minus 4. swap the x and y. So if I'm swapping, instead of y, I will write x. Instead of x, I'm going to write y. Make y the subject. Now, since I have to make y the subject, that means I need to bring y to one side. So I will add 4 over here. I'll add 4 over here. So this will become x plus 4 is equal to 3y. Then I will divide both the sides by y. So this is going to become x plus 4 divided by 3 is equal to y. Now instead of y, I will put f minus 1 x. That means this is the inverse of my function. It is x plus 4 divided by 3. So this becomes the inverse of my function. Okay, let's try again another way, another sum. You can pause the video, try it, come back and solve. Always do this method. It makes things very easier for you. Pause, try, come back, solve. So I've been given g of x is 5 minus 2x. What will I do? Write the function as y. If I'm writing the function as y, so this is going to be y is equal to 5 minus 2x. Swap the x and y. So instead of x, I will write y. Instead of y, I will write x. Then make y the subject. If I'm making y the subject, that means I need to bring y in one side. Okay. So what I will do, I will minus 5 from both the sides. So what I'm left with is x minus 5 is equal to minus 2y. Then what will I do? I will divide both the sides by minus 2y. So if I'm minus 2. So if I'm dividing both the sides by minus 2, so what I'm left with, minus over here, x minus 5 divided by 2 is equal to y. Okay. Now we don't need minus outside. I need minus inside. So I will multiply minus, it's become minus x. Minus into minus is going to become plus x. So this is going to be minus x, and minus into minus becomes plus 5 divided by 2. So now y is equal to, I'll just rephrase this equation, rewrite it, 5 minus x divided by 2, and instead of y, I'm going to write f minus 1 x. F minus 1 x, but here my function was g. So instead of x, I'm going to write g. It is going to be 5 minus x divided by 2. So now a small test for you. You might struggle a bit, but it's always good to struggle. Okay, a small test for you. We call it as a mini plenary. Take 3 minutes and try to solve out this. Okay, I am keeping the steps for you so that you can go through it. Pause, try, and come back. Okay, let's work out our sum. We have to find the function is f and g. I have fx, I have gx. I have to find f of 6. Now, since I am looking to find f of 6, so first I will write my f of x is equal to half x plus 4. Instead of x, I'm going to put 6. So f of 6 is going to be half 6 plus 4. So this is 2 ones and this is 2 threes. So f of 6 is 3 plus 4, that is 7. Okay, let's go ahead. So I have my f of 6 is 7. Let's go to the next part, B part. F of g minus 3. Okay, so first I will find the value of g minus 3. I have gx given to me. G minus 3, I'm writing over here a little big. First I will find the value of g minus 3. I have g of x is 2x, x plus 1. Instead of x, I'm going to put minus 3. So this is going to become 2 minus 3 plus 1. So this is minus 6 over minus 2 and it becomes 3. You can definitely use your calculator. Okay, so g of minus 3 is 3. This is your first step. I'll write the question again. I want f of g minus 3. I've already found the g minus 3. What is g minus 3? 3. I take this value. G minus 3 is 3. So I'm left with f of 3. Okay. Now I have to find f of 3. That means I know I have my f of x is equal to half x plus 4. Instead of x, I'm going to substitute 3. So this is going to be half 3 plus 4. I'll put this on the calculator. Okay. Putting this on the calculator, I'm getting f of 3 is 5.5. So f of 3 is what? 5.5. So I get my answer. Okay. This was f of 3 and this is 5.5. So this usually comes as a 2-mark question. I've done this. Now I'm looking at the C part of my question. The C part of my question is telling me find the value of g of a is equal to minus 2. They are asking me to find the value of a. Okay. G of a is minus 2. I know my g of x is 2x over x plus 1. If I make this g of a, it is going to be, instead of x, I'm replacing a. So it is going to be 2a plus 1. Okay. And they've told me that g of a is minus 2. So minus 2 is equal to 2a plus 1. For this equation, you will be getting 1 mark. Okay. So you get M1 for this equation. Now what do you have to do? You have to just solve this equation. So if I'm solving this equation, I will multiply both the sides by a plus 1. So I will be left with 2 minus 2 in the bracket a plus 1 is equal to 2a. I expand my bracket, minus 2 into a and minus 2 into 1. So this becomes minus 2a minus 2 is equal to 2a. I need to find the value of a. That means I will make a the subject. So what I'll do is, first I'll add the 2 to both the sides. Or I will add 2a to both the sides. So this will become minus 2a, and this is plus 2a. So this cancels out. So I add 2a to both the sides and I'm left with minus 2 is equal to 2a plus 2a. Minus 2 is equal to 4a. So my a will be equal to, I will divide both the sides by 4. So minus 2 by 4. 2 ones are and 2 twos are. So my a is equal to minus half. So this will give you full marks for the question. Okay, let's proceed to the next part. Some the D part. I want you to try it yourself. Come to the solution only if you are stuck. Okay, try and then come back. Now what you have to do is you have to express the inverse of the function f minus 1 in the form of f minus 1x. That means they're asking you to find f minus 1x. This is nothing but they're asking you to find the inverse. You have some steps to do the inverse. You will use that steps and go ahead. F of x is half x plus 4. Write out the function as y. So this is going to become y is equal to half x plus 4. Swap the x and y. So instead of y, I'm writing x. Instead of x, I'm writing y. So this is going to be half y plus 4. Then make y the subject. If I'm making y the subject, I'm going to minus 4. So this is going to become x minus 4 is equal to half y. Now what I'm going to do? I'm going to multiply both the sides by 2 because I have to make y the subject. So this is going to be 2 x minus 4 is equal to y. I've got this. Okay. 2x minus 4 is equal to y. I've made y the subject. Now instead of y, write f minus 1. So it's going to be f minus 1 of x is 2x minus 4. You get 1 mark for this and 1 mark for this. Okay, that's a question for 2. So this is one way of doing the inverse. Let's look at the other way of doing the inverse. If I look at the forward way that is happening over here, okay, the forward way is that I have f of x is half x plus 4. That means what is happening over here, I have an x. The first thing that is happening is it's getting divided by 2. Then what is happening is that there is an addition of 4. Okay, and divide by 2, addition of 4, this is giving me my f of x. Now if I want to do the inverse of it, exactly the inverse of it, what will I do? I will multiply by 2. This is the forward method that is happening. When I am doing inverse, I use the backward method. If I'm using the backward method, I multiply by 2 and I will subtract 4. Okay. So x is it's f inverse of x and f of x is x, the backward way. Okay. So if I'm doing the backward way, I will minus 4, I will multiply 2, I get my f inverse x. Let's say on this, if I'm putting these things, so how does this become? This becomes x, I'm going this way. minus 4. Okay, this will become x minus 4, and again the backward. So it's going to become 2 times of x minus 4. So this is another way of doing it. If you do not want to do this, write the function as y is equal to swap x and y, make y the subcheck. Instead of y, write f of minus x. Or alternatively, you can do the forward and backward method, whatever you are comfortable with. With this, I have drilled in the concept of inverse function. Now, what you have to do, these are some questions for practice. Of course, I will solve all of them with you, okay? But I need you to first pause and try. Try question number 4. For each function, you have to find something f minus 1 x or f of f inverse x, f inverse of fx. Try to do it, okay? So 1, 2, and 3, these are things that you have to practice. So you are given the functions f of x. Just understand what you have to do. Your f of x is equal to 5x. For each function, that is for all a to g. You have to find three things. You have to find f inverse x, f of f minus 1x, that means f of f inverse x, and f inverse of fx for all these functions. Pause, try, come back. Now let's solve some questions, which is for your practice. Okay. Just give me a minute. So now we have a function f of x. For this, we need to find our f inverse of x. So what do? You write the function as y is equal to x. Swap the x and y. In place of y, you put x. In place of x, you put y. Make y the subcheck. So I'm going to divide by 5. So this becomes x by 5 is equal to y. And in place of y, I will write f inverse of x. So f inverse of x is x by 5. So this I am done with finding the f inverse of x. Now my step 2 is find f inverse of x. I've already found my f inverse of x. That means I have to find f of x by 5. Okay. I have f of x as 5x. In place of x, I'm going to put x by 5. In place of x, I am going to put x by 5. So f of x by 5 is nothing but x. That means f of f inverse x is nothing but it is x. Now I go to the next one. I have to find f inverse of fx. Okay. Now if I have to find f inverse of fx, just substitute what I have. That means I have to find f inverse of f of x is what? F of x is 5x. So I have to find f inverse of 5x. F inverse of 5x will be what? Now I know my f inverse of x is f by 5. So f inverse of 5x. Okay, in place of x, I'm going to put 5x. In place of x, I'm going to put 5x. So f inverse of 5x is nothing but it is x. That is f inverse of 5x is x. This is how I have solved my, so f inverse of f of x is x. So this is how I have solved my A part, the first one where I have found f inverse of x. The second one where I have found f of f inverse x. And the third one where I have found f inverse of fx. Okay, let's do the 4b part. Okay, so you have to find three things: f inverse x, f of f inverse x, and f inverse x of fx. So let's see, f of x is equal to x plus 4. Try to recall. What will we do? We will put in place of fx y. Y is equal to x plus 4. Swap your x and y. So we swap the x and y. Okay. Now make y the subject. So you'll minus 4 from both the sides. So x minus 4 is equal to y. So y is equal to x minus 4. Now in place of y, put f inverse x. So my f inverse x is equal to x minus 4. I've solved the first part. Now the second part. We have to find f of f inverse x. I know my f inverse x is what? My f inverse x is x minus 4. I have my f of x as x plus 4. In place of x, I'm going to put x minus 4. So this would be, in place of x, put x minus 4 plus 4. So I have f of x minus 4. X minus 4 is nothing but f inverse x. This is equal to x. So f of x minus 4 is equal to x. F of x minus 4 is nothing but, this is f inverse of x. Now let's do the third part. Third part is find of f inverse f of x. Okay, I need to find f inverse of f of x. F of x is x plus 4. So I need to find x inverse. In place of fx, I'm going to put x plus 4. Now I know my f inverse x is equal to x minus 4. In place of x, if I put x plus 4, so it would be f inverse of x plus 4. In place of x, I will put x plus 4 minus 4. So this is going to become what? F inverse x plus 4 is equal to f, that is f inverse. Okay, f inverse f of x is x. Why? Because x plus 4 is f of x. Now you need to try the C part for yourself. So these are my three answers. Okay, we'll do the C, D, E in the next video, and I will post the links next to the PPT that you can download from my website education.org.